On this episode of Internet Business Mastery, we answer the question, when is the best time to launch a product? And in the quick tip, we share our preferred keyword research tool.
Welcome to InternetBusinessMastery.com, where you will learn to take control, make more money, and start an internet business today. Here are your hosts, Sterling and Jay.
Hey everyone, I'm Sterling.
And I'm Jay.
And we're here to help you discover the power of internet business to make money and enjoy more freedom. Check out our proven 4-step formula for starting your own internet business by going to freevideogift.com. So Jay, what's up?
Well, I was just looking at some stats yesterday for episodes last year. In 2010, I was just kind of curious to see, we talked about in the meeting, seeing which of our episodes were the most highly downloaded episodes. And it was intriguing to look at. It turns out that the number one downloaded episode of last year was a Q&A episode.
Oh, great. We go to all the trouble to write all this stuff, and just answering questions is the one that...
Really, people just want us to answer their questions. So, yeah, I guess it would be a good idea to do another Q&A episode, was what I was thinking.
Yeah, I love doing them. I know in the Academy we do it monthly, let people come on a call and just ask us whatever they want, and I know we really enjoy that. So, yeah, let's do another one.
All right, so let's do this. So if you have a question, a burning question that you'd love us to talk about on the show and answer for you, we're going to be doing a Q&A episode. It'll probably be in 2 or 3 episodes down the road here, but we want to start collecting those questions now. So let's try something a little bit new. We've got a Facebook page. It's been up there for a while, but we're now, putting more effort into promoting it again and kind of building that up. We post content and things there regularly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take questions through the Facebook, the Internet Business Mastery Facebook page. So what you want to do is go to facebook.com/Internet Business Mastery, and that'll take you to our page for the show there on Facebook. You'll just have to click like for the page and then enter your question right there on the wall. And we keep an eye on that pretty much daily. We're always there checking that out. So we'll be collecting the best questions through the wall there on Facebook, and we'll include those in this upcoming Q&A episode. And be sure to mention, obviously your name will be there on Facebook, but be sure to mention your site as well. We always like mentioning people's site whenever we quote them or answer their question or share their breakthrough on the show, and give you a bit of traffic as well. So be sure to share that link there on our Facebook page as well. How does that sound? Sound like a good idea, Sterling?
Yeah, let's do it. I love the Q&As.
So you can even do that right now. If you got a question on your mind, head over to facebook.com/Internet Business Mastery, hit like on the page, and share your question right there on the wall, and we will be sure to fit as many as we can into the upcoming show.
And now, the features segment.
All right, this episode's feature segment is based on an audio question that was recently sent in that is a great question, and also is very timely given something we ran into with a coaching student recently. So we thought we'd go ahead and attack this question, as I'm sure it's the kind of thing that's on a lot of people's minds, no matter what phase you are in your business, even just starting out, or even if you've been going for a little while. So let's go ahead and play that question, and then we'll come back and answer it for you.
Hello, Sterling and Jay. This is Presto from PassiveIncomeDesign.com. I have a question for you about launching digital products. What's your take on the best time to launch a product? Should you launch as soon as the production is complete, or should you wait until you have a certain amount of content subscribers, affiliates, and JV partners on board to maximize launch exposure? Thank you for your time. And again, this is Presto from PassiveIncomeDesign.com.
All right, thanks, Presto, for sending that in. So, a few things come to mind as far as answering this question. But first, let us share with you a story that just took place recently here in Portland, Oregon. We got together with a small group of coaching students, and we're answering questions for them, masterminding together. It was good times, and one of these people had a question about, well, how quickly. It was kind of a similar question, but basically it was like, when do I know that I should start making money? That I can start making money? When can I get to the money? And that question actually came up a few times during the mastermind, and finally we started asking her some questions and said, well, how much traffic are you getting? And it turns out one of her sites was actually getting way more traffic than we even get on our own site. So we're like,
God, it was like 3 times more.
yeah, it was like 3 times more. So we're like, oh, interesting. Okay. And we asked, well, how many people do you have on your list? And it was pretty small in comparison to the amount of traffic that was going on there. And so we started asking, well, what are you focusing on right now? And then this whole list of things came up after that. And so, as soon as she was done talking, we made the realization, it's like, okay, first of all, the good news is you should already be making money. You should already have a product in the marketplace. But instead, she was focusing on, about 10 other things that she felt like it just absolutely had to be in place when it came to, the team she was working with and even having joint venture partners on board or this and that and the other. And we said, you know what? Right now, there's only 2 things that you should be doing. Focusing on getting more people on that list because of the amount of traffic you're getting, your list should be much bigger. And number 2 is make a product and right away and sell to the people that you've already got. So the answer to your question was you should have already made money. In fact, probably a long time ago.
Yeah, with all that traffic, 3 times more than us. That's so funny to see. Like when people don't know, they just go, oh, I guess I have to get 20,000 people coming to my site a week before I can sell something. No. In fact, a lot less than that, a tenth of that, but yeah, let's get started right away.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if you've only got 100 people on your list, you've got people that you can turn to and ask, well, what is it that you want most? You can, send a survey out to them. Likely you'll be able to get 20 or 30 answers from them. And, especially if you needed to and you just said, hey, I'll give you a preview copy of the product. Just let them know what's up. They're going to be making something. You just need their input. So, 100 people on your list, you got plenty of people to survey, plenty of people to get a response from, to find out what they want, find out what kind of product they want, and to create that product for them. So all that is to say, and that's not directly answering Presto's question yet, and we will get to that. It sounds like he's further along, and he probably has a site and a bit of a list and an idea of what his product's going to be, just kind of wondering, well, what's the best timing to do a product launch for it? But the initial point that we want to make here is, by far, people wait too long to just get out there and make a product. I mean, no product, no money. So, and yes, there are, those initial steps of things that should be in place. I mean, like everything we teach in the academy, we start out by having you, define what you want, your goals, your lifestyle, then define your niche, your audience, and get a site up. But all that can happen very, very quickly. And then after that, it's like, okay, well, now your following should be building up as you're creating content. And again, you don't need that big of a following in order to know what kind of product to make for them. So that's the first point to make is, as soon as you know what your market wants, you should be making a product for them and pulling the trigger and getting them to buy. And even if it only ends up being 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people buying, I mean, that's huge. That's a big milestone for you. The biggest motivator is a sense of progress, and making that first money online, making those first sale or 2 is going to be huge when it comes to your self-esteem, your confidence, the whole process, and just going through that process of creating and launching a product. That way, next time your second product, you'll be that much quicker. And now you just have something out in the marketplace that you can tweak a little bit and see if, maybe a little bit different messaging might even sell more, but at least the money is starting to come in. You have the beginnings of your cash machine. So don't wait forever. I mean, once you've got your niche and your audience defined, you've got that site up and just a bit of a following, find out what they want and get that product made.
Yeah, I think one of the other things that I've noticed as well, I mean, this person that we met with, she had definitely some very grandiose plans, which is awesome. But you also don't want huge plans to stop you from not only starting, but getting something out there and trying it first to even see if it's going to work. So for instance, I even have a story of a friend of mine that I actually just met with a couple days ago, and he showed me his mind map of a membership site that he was creating. And, and he was like, oh, it's only going to take me, 3 more months or whatever it was to get it up and get it started. And I was asking him, how many people on your list, what kind of traffic and that. And, it was still pretty small, but he's been creating content. He's got podcasts out there. So he was, bringing people in. But he went the other direction and, literally designed, he went through the problem of what we did when we first designed our membership site. We made an encyclopedia, right? Like we made the encyclopedia of internet marketing and business.
Right.
rather than making it really toned down and go, okay, what's the 4 major issues? Or let's just go step by step, and each step, we don't have to tell everything possible on that subject. We just need to tell them the stuff that needs to happen before the next step is all. And so like we went through his mind map of this humongous membership thing, and I was like going, I actually happen to be his market. So I went and said, I only need to know this, 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 and this right at first. And I mean, like, that cut off 2 months of development time.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I would no more than spend a month. You know, he already had it completely mapped out. He just had to record and stuff. And it was just that thing of like going, I've got to give them, basically it would have overwhelmed me had I bought the course. So that's like the other side. And he was creating, you know, going to spend 3 months creating something, and he wasn't totally sure yet if the market even wanted it yet. So like he had skipped a couple of steps too. So, you know, it's just there's a couple of things. It's like you want to get to a product right away, but it also doesn't have to be this grandiose, like, entire membership site at first. No. It can be an ebook or something that will let you know that your market wants it, you know, wants what you have to offer. And again, once you make even that first sale, everything clicks. You're like, okay, people are willing to give me money. This is awesome.
Yeah, it'd be unfortunate to pour tons of time into like a $2,000 coaching course just to find out that you'd kind of missed the mark. I mean, the whole process that we walk people through in the academy is create an entry-level product first, just like what you were describing. It just, you know, answers 2 or 3 things. Maybe it's a simple ebook. Maybe it's a simple series of videos. It doesn't need to be a huge deal. It probably sells for a price point under $100, and it's something that most people can make in a matter of a few days or a couple weeks at most. And you don't want to overwhelm your market, and you don't want to overwhelm yourself by tackling something too big up front. So there's kind of the first point I wanted to make, is a lot of people wait too long. Don't make it up to be bigger than it needs to be. Yes, make sure you know what your market wants, but then jump right in. The second point we want to make is, it's always a great idea to get paid to create your product. And I know I've told the story many times that my first information product I ever made was, simply putting 25 people in a room that each paid $100 to be there. And so it was a seminar I was putting on, but really what I was doing was I was creating a product that I, turned into a notebook, and I turned into a series of CDs and information that I sent out then by selling it over the internet. But what I was doing is I was getting paid to create the product. So I didn't spend weeks and weeks up front, making this nice notebook and recording the CDs at home and all that stuff. What I did is people paid me to be in the room while I was presenting the material and creating the product, recording it live for them. And that's pretty much the process that we've used for a lot of our products. Is, it's a coaching course that we sell in advance, or a membership site that we sell in advance, and people are already a part of it as we're creating the materials. So get paid now while, know what your market wants, but then go ahead and have them pay you for it, even as you're in the process of creating the product. Now, you obviously have to be careful with that. I mean, there's certain, it's not like you can, have people pay for a product and then it's an ebook that comes out 6 months later. But in the case of a teleseminar series or a coaching course or even a membership site, if there's a way for you to get paid now and then have the content, in the case of a membership site, I guess you do need to have some information in there already, like we did with the Academy.
Yeah, we had 2 months or 3 months worth in.
But, a lot of times there is a way to get paid first and then make the product as people are going through it with you.
I can't believe I forgot about that when I was talking to my friend a couple of nights ago, because I think the first Internet Business Mastery product we created was paid ahead of time. The first product I created for eBay, people paid, and then they came to a seminar, which we recorded, just like you did with your real estate thing. And I forgot to mention that to my friend. Like, don't even spend a month creating, a smaller version. Create it live with people. talk about telling you if people even want it. And if they didn't want it, you could go, oh, look, thankfully I didn't waste an entire month or 3 months creating this thing, because if you put it out there and people are like, nah, nobody wants it, then you're like, oh, now I don't have to create it. And I can now refocus and figure out what I did wrong along the way.
See, and yeah, that's really exciting. What that means is there may be a lot of people listening to, us talk right now in this episode who really, if they wanted to, they could have a product launched by the end of this week, because if they've already got the following and maybe they've surveyed them and have an idea of what they want, well, all you have to do is sit down for like an hour, design a teleseminar series. I'm going to do one teleseminar a week for the next month. So to get access to this 4-part teleseminar series, and here's the things I think approximately I'm going to talk about in each. In about an hour, you can design out what that thing is going to be and have that thing launched by the end of the week, because it's not like you have to have all the content created before you launch it. So yeah, it's a very exciting idea that people shouldn't forget, is that, get paid in advance. Okay, so let's say that people are maybe a little bit further along. They know what product they want. They've got their following. They found out what the following wants. Maybe they've even started putting some of that content together. Maybe it's the kind of product that they do have to make in advance, or whatever the case may be. Now, let's say they're just, they're wanting to put together one of these bigger kind of product launches, like you see Jeff Walker talking about, like you've seen us do in the past. And, that, I think this might be where, Presto's coming in with this question of, when's the best time? Should I wait till I get a critical mass of affiliates and joint venture partners online? Do I need to make sure I've got all the content created? And hopefully we kind of answered that question with get paid in advance if you can. But when it comes to, a lot of times it's easy to come up with reasons to wait just a little bit longer until launching. And I can totally get it, because it's a bit of a scary thing, especially if it happens to be your first product launch. And actually, it doesn't necessarily get easier. Even, there's been lots of times, even though we've done tons of product launches where we're getting ready to pull the trigger on something new, and even though we've surveyed and have a pretty good feeling about it, there's always a bit of a question in your mind of like, wow, is this going to work? And, there we just want to remind people, it's about going to bat. And it's about going to bat often. The people that we know that have really succeeded in this business, they step up to bat a lot. And sometimes they hit it out of the park. Sometimes it's a single, and sometimes it's a bunt. In fact, we shared recently that case where we put a seminar offer out there and really nobody bought. And so in a way, it was us just having to bunt it and go, okay, let's move on. And we'll just move on to the next thing, survey people again, find out what they want. But the best thing that you can do is go ahead and pull the trigger now and get moving, so that sooner than later, rather than coming up with reasons like, oh, I might need to wait a few more weeks because I want a few more affiliate partners on board, or I might want to add a couple more modules, or I'm not sure if I've surveyed them enough. I mean, it's always easy to come up with more reasons to kind of put things off because of that bit of fear that we have as to whether or not to it's time to pull the trigger. Now, that said, when it comes to the whole, JV launch, so when I say JVs, it's a joint venture launch, meaning you're going to build you've got the product and you're going to build a list of joint venture partners who are going to promote this for you as well. So they're going to promote it to their lists and get a commission for any sales that they generate. And in that way, you're hopefully reaching a bigger slice of people, a bigger pie, but even though you're giving, a chunk of that pie to your joint venture partners at the same time. And it's always a good idea to do an internal launch first if you can, just because that way and when we say internal launch, we mean to your own list, even if that's only a list of 100 people right now. You might be going, well, I want to wait until I can really take this thing out to thousands of people. But the best thing is just to go ahead and get it out there and selling now. And even if it's only to a list of 100 people, as long as you can sell 2 or 3, at least you're onto something. And you can kind of prove out the system, make sure you've plugged everything together, get a bit of feedback from people on that product. And you know what? Say 3 people buy, great. Maybe it's that teleseminar series, you only sold 3 slots. All right, maybe you can go to 3 other colleagues or 5 other colleagues and a couple friends and say, hey, I think this might be interest you as well. Pull them on board. And now you've got maybe, 10 or 15 people going through your teleseminar series or your product with you and getting their feedback as well. So it's not a bad thing to start small with just a few customers, because those few customers give you a lot of valuable feedback. You prove out your system. You get some numbers that you can take to joint venture partners. You can kind of tweak the sales messaging based on what you found out. You can tweak the product a little bit based on what you found out. And, in the end, you'll just go out there more confident as you do this larger scale launch that it will actually go well, not only for you, but also for your joint venture partners. You don't want to disappoint them too. If if things fall apart and your offer isn't proven out and things aren't put together right, a joint venture partner, if things don't go well, it might be hard to ever get them on board again in the future. So, think about that, starting out smaller with the internal launch, kind of think of it as just a way to improve your product, get some testimonials. That's another big thing that'll bring for you. And then once that is done, take it to your joint venture partners. And that's exactly what we did last year with the traffic attraction formula. Earlier in the spring, we did a launch to our own list. It was a new course about podcasting and online media. And the launch went really well, but we also learned a lot of great stuff that we took to the second launch later in the year, that we improved the sales messaging even more. We had some great numbers to take to the joint venture partners, and we were able to get more people on board in that way. And hence our partner launch was a lot bigger than it would have been if we just kind of muscled through and done the partner launch up front. I think that would have been a lot scarier for sure to do it that way. So that's some stuff there to consider as well when it comes to the timing of your launch and when to get out there and launch things. So I guess let's go ahead and kind of review this just a bit, maybe give a few different action steps. We've kind of thrown out a few different points. Get in there and find out what your market wants, and as soon as you know what they want, get the product done. Or make sure to get paid for your product if you can. Do an internal launch first, and then do a joint venture launch. Use that internal launch to build up the product and the sales messaging. And I think no matter where you're at in the process, as you listen to this, you can probably find a place that where you are. Now, if you're just starting out, we'll work on the fundamentals first. Get your niche down really solidly, get that site up. The Academy can help you through those steps very, very quickly. Right up front, you get all that information to be able to get those things up and get a following quite quickly. And then, so get those fundamentals down if you haven't done that. If you have done those fundamentals, well, just the next step would be survey your market and ask them. Just say, what are your biggest concerns? What are your biggest, what are the things you'd like to accomplish most in this year? How could I help you most? And listen to those answers and come up with an idea for a product. If you've already surveyed, well, pull the trigger. Again, even this week, you could plan out a teleseminar series. You could plan out a 10-video series. You could plan out a coaching group that's going to run for a couple months, whatever the case may be based on the feedback. See if you can get people to pay you even this week or next week to start that coaching group or that teleseminar series here in the next couple weeks and get that money coming in. If you've already maybe proven out that entry-level thing and done an internal launch, okay, well, maybe the next step is to go ahead and see if you can get, even if it's just one joint venture partner on board, and just try out a joint. I mean, your first JV launch probably shouldn't be with 10 people launching your product. It probably shouldn't be with the A-listers of your market. It should probably be with just 2, maybe 3, closer colleagues. It might be B-list or C-list players in your market. But again, it's just kind of stepping it up and using each success to leapfrog to the next. So there's a bunch of different actions depending on wherever you happen to land in that spectrum. But the bottom line is, our challenge to you is, this week, do something right away to move you closer to making that first dollar off of your own product, whether it's joining the Academy to get the help you need with your niche and getting your site up, whether it's surveying your market, whether it's designing a product that you can put on the market today or even this week and make some money, or whether it's going out and finding that one joint venture partner. Now's the time to act. You go to bat as often as you can, and the sooner you go to the bat, the sooner you're going to get to those home runs that will launch you forward in your internet business success. And that's what we want to see for you.
And remember, there's a live question and answer call each month for Academy members where you can ask us anything about starting and running an internet business. If you're not a member, no problem. Just go to internetbusinessmasteryacademy.com and sign up now.
All right, we've got a breakthrough here from an Academy member. This was shared in the Mastermind forums recently, and this is a perfect example of the kind of thing we were just talking about in the feature segment earlier. This idea of just getting out there, taking action. The greatest motivation is just progress, whatever that bit of progress may be. And so this breakthrough is a post put in by John Kenny of DuelingPianoSchool.com. So first of all,
there's a
awesome niche. I've never heard of that before, but that's so cool. And second of all, so here's what he says. My breakthrough is that we recorded my 15th podcast episode, increased my list to 105, and have 4 paid memberships. It's all about small victories, but my niche is slim, and I am building it. So yeah, here's a great example. Look, he had 105 people on his list. He already has 4 paid memberships, so he dove in, he got something offered, and he has, a small handful of people. But look, like that already is a nice chunk of his 105. I mean, if you work out the percentages, it's like, look, that's well on your way to, like, at least, you have something that people want, because some people were willing to go and put down their hard-earned money to buy what it is that you are offering. So, congratulations, John, on that great progress, and definitely want to share that as just an awesome example of getting in there, launching a product, trying things out, and just taking that next step right away. Massive, bold, quick action is definitely the key to success.
Yeah, and now you know that 4 people out of 100 on your list are possibly going to be what buy. So now all it is just trying to get as many people clearly on that list as possible. Then, later, now that you've got it up and you've got something that can bring in money, then later you can start seeing how to convert so that 6 people out of 100 or 10 people out of 100 will buy the membership. So awesome. To me, that kind of thing would make me go, okay, now I know what I need to do is just get more opt-ins, right? Because if out of all the people on his list, 4 are buying per 100, that's a good number to know. If, clearly if it was 0, you would know that both numbers actually are awesome, because it'll tell you either way. So you either don't waste time, or then you move to the next thing, which would be conversion and more opt-in building.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. And 4% is definitely a great start. So you're on the right path. Congrats, John. If you want to check out John's site, go to duelingpianoschool.com.
It's time for the Internet Business Quick Tip.
All right, so this episode's quick tip is a great tool for a couple different things. There's a couple ways that we like to use this. One is to look for, new niche ideas within a market and things like that. We've talked about, and we show in the Academy how doing some keyword research, see what people are searching for online is a good way to determine what a market wants, the kinds of things people are looking for online. And then once you know your niche or your market, keyword tools are great for finding out ideas of content that you should be creating. So what kind of articles should you be, what kind of topics should you be creating articles about? What kinds of keywords should you be using in the titles of your blog posts and things like that in order to get the attention of the people that are searching online for your type of information? So our preferred tool for researching new markets, as well as what content you can create to get better search exposure, is Market Samurai, which you can find at getyourkeywordtool.com. Now, I know you've used this quite a bit. Sterling, what's your experience been with Market Samurai?
Yeah, there's a lot of cool tools. And in fact, every time I've opened it up, I haven't opened it up for just for a couple of months now, but even the last time I opened it up, they're just constantly adding new features. Again, more stuff that can help you with creating content, and even they show, what the top 10 in any keyword is. So if we were looking at internet business for us, you can show the top 10 who's ranking on Google, and then it shows all the different categories of what they believe helps them be in the top 10. And you can look at things. So if it's like, oh, the first one has 1,000 backlinks, and we can see ours only has 800. So we can go, oh, let's put some more focus and energy on backlinks. And maybe that will help us. That could very likely be the thing that helps us go ahead of that person. Or, that it shows all different things. Is there keyword in their URL? Like it just shows all of that stuff, and is very useful for making decisions on helping getting ranking, SEO stuff, and again, all the article and content creation.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that. That may be one of the most powerful features of the whole thing, is kind of that search ranking intelligence that it gives you, based on your competitors. Here are the things you should focus on in order to take your ranking up in Google. So, yeah, that's an awesome feature as well.
Well, and I know our SEO guy uses this all the time, and in fact, I believe even on the blog, he's making a walkthrough of this pretty soon, hopefully. But yeah, this is just something I know a lot of the big guys use for all the little detailed, secret stuff. You can get that with this.
Awesome. So you can check that out at getyourkeywordtool.com. Whether you're just starting out and need a new idea for, a niche or a market, it's a great tool, or whether you're, well on your way and just need new ideas for content or how to get better search exposure, this tool will serve you well. And they've got a great free trial. You can go ahead and try out the software as well. So head on over to getyourkeywordtool.com and try Market Samurai out.
If you'd like to get dozens of resources such as this one, you can find them in the Internet Business Mastery Academy, along with video tutorials showing you exactly how we use many of them. So to get your risk-free trial membership to the Academy, go to InternetBusinessMasteryAcademy.com.
You've been listening to the iconoclasts of the 9 to 5, Sterling and Jay. Sterling and Jay invite you to discover one of their most popular video programs ever, the Online Business Freedom Formula. Visit freevideogift.com right now to get instant access to this life-changing video series, pulled directly from the acclaimed Internet Business Mastery Academy membership community. Go now to freevideogift.com. Take control. Make more money. Start an internet business today.